Namaste, ladies and gentlemen. Let's try taking the subject much further, which more or less talks about artificial intelligence and consciousness and its reference. Now, in my previous video, I was talking about the very aspect of the comparison of Gayatri Mantra and the layers of the consciousness respectively. Now, see, ever since this human being or the human existence came into advent, in the sense like from the spiritual point of view, Natya Brahma or Natya Sutradhara, or one who created that dance form, or one who has created that, one who is the anchor, plays a sheet anchor role for creating that universe. You know, he should have something in his mind, right? Whether it is formally, whether it is having form, whether it is not having form, irrespective of that. Now, the point is, there is always this debate. Once this godly element which goes off the body, let's say like let me take a realistic example itself. I often ask this question to myself. What if that godly element or the godly existence, form or the formless element of that God element is not there? Would this Ramchandra be able to use that consciousness element? By the way, I am still in the introductory part. The point is, here to understand that form or the formless godly element part, one needs to get into that subject by and large. I think this is where actually like artificial intelligence will lose its edge. However, this earthly existence, in this earthly existence, human body is having its own structural proforma or the structural process of the human existence, considering consciousness, subconsciousness, super subconsciousness, super consciousness, semi consciousness, semi subconsciousness, super conscious, super consciousness, absolute consciousness state. But if we really get to the second part of the earthly existence, there it is like quite opposite to this. Understand this? In the sense, they don't have anything like this conscious elements or whatever it is. Unlike we have Vedic scriptures or whatever it is, wherein we have our own theology happening and our own explanations. There it's only one thing. This body, so-called body, works at a instead of 360 degrees, it will be 720 degrees. Or you can say it as a 5-dimensional 5D matrix or 6D matrix. Now, this is again subjective to this. And this is the reason why Shankaracharya concluded his Advaita or Advaitic philosophy by stating Brahma Satyam Jagat Mithya Brahmaiva Jivo Na Para, from the subjective and objective point of view. It has been clearly explained if you really see. Though today, if we really look at, that is one part of it. If we really look at from the genealogical point of view, from the genetics, human genetics point of view, or DNA point of view, or RNA point of view, this human existence has that complexity of having that cult in the body deep within. From the medical point of view, think about it. And this is what is explained in Natya Shastra at a lower level. If we go to the second level, which I am talking about, I am not talking about the earthly existence. I am talking about the existence of the robotics. There it is chip technology. It has all electrons, protons, neutrons. It works with fiber optics, etc., etc. That's there. That's the electronic language, ASCII code language, in other words. That's the complexity here. Of course, if the people, alien people, come from that part to earthly existence, they will have that difficulty. If we as human beings go to that place, we would not be able to adjust. Here, one more thing is, for this human existence to survive, there has to be a cycle going on, which is why you have male and female, and that marriage ritual, wherein that intercourse happens, and that's when actually like that family's life cycle goes on, again comes on. The same thing if you really take there in a second layer of the this multiverse. There it is totally different. There it's not about like having this intercourse or having this male and female division, or other kind of people there. It's all about like they're only one thing: robotic language, electronic language. It's like time and distance. It's like electricity traveling through your body instead of blood. Now, to what extent can the artificial intelligence, which the scientists are developing using the electronic language, or ASCII codes, or electrons, protons and neutrons, replacing that with the human body in the earthly existence, To what extent it is going to help? This earthly existence is having its own pattern and its own way of living and its own lifestyle. You can't replace with that robotics. It's going to create that imbalance of the heart, whatever imbalance. Just like, we human beings going to Venus or Jupiter or Mars, where there is no atmosphere and we can't handle that pressure. We can't even stay in methane and ethane atmosphere. I don't know to what extent there's scientists sorry about that, to what extent scientists are going to achieve. It's going against the principles of the earthly existence, at least. The same thing, if we human beings go to that Venus, we wouldn't be able to survive there, even whatever it is. When I talk about Akhila Anda Koti Brahmanda Naika, in the sense like many galaxies reaching to that godly existence point, to this day nobody is able to understand that form and formless nature of God. There was only one person who could understand, Milarepa. He could get to that Kailasha Parvata. That also nobody knows. Whether it is myth, whether it is correct, nobody knows. However, since scriptures are there, people are telling, fine, that's okay. However, this is where actually, one needs to understand consciousness is one of the primary elements for the earthly existence only. Here you have consciousness, subconsciousness, semi-consciousness, semi-subconsciousness, super consciousness, super subconsciousness, ultimate consciousness, conscious state of mind, wherein this human being is stipulated to that part only. That's it. Nothing more, nothing less. If I really look at the way scientists are working upon, even medical science, it's a huge challenge for them to understand about it, which our scriptures have explained very beautifully. Brahma Satyam Jagat Mithya Brahmaiva Jivo Naparaha. And Natya Brahma or Natya Sutradhara clearly explains these concepts in Natya Shastra, which people say it is written by Bharat Mahamuni, but I strongly argue on this. It is not written by Bharat Mahamuni, but it is a guidelines for the people to understand this human existence from the consciousness perspective. Think about it, ladies and gentlemen. Stay blessed. Have a real blissful life. May the Guru's grace be with you. Have a nice day.